Hi there, welcome. Hi, I'm Violet. I appreciate you joining me. We're gonna dive right on in and get a couple messages on today's energetic peak to be helpful, bring you clarity. This reading is timeless, collective. See what feels like it resonates, trust your discernment, and always trust that divine connection you have to your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe. The answer is always in you, and try to make balanced decisions that are based in love and help all of us uplift each other in love. Okay, interesting messages coming straight out of the gate. None of your business what they think. Someone would rather be with you than where they are or who they're with. Imagining you are by their side. Send love. Never want to imagine you with anybody else. That's driving somebody a little gray actually. It's time to take out the garbage, create some room, get rid of anything that's smelly, and grow your garden. Interesting. I feel like with these two together, there's something about the garbage. I get like the sifting through the garbage because I actually see compost. Making something that felt like trash work. I'm getting big, almost phoenix, total transformation, transfiguration energy. Wow, that was really big. So let's dive on in and get you some clarity. I kind of feel like maybe we should start kind of raw. Except I don't know if I have the deck, so let's do this one. Let's go with what's in front of me. This is going to be kind of an impromptu reading. This is the love and money. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels and energies of love have for the highest and greatest good of all. What is the first opening message that would be helpful today? What is the most helpful message for you to hear? Malfunction. This girl is, at least, I mean, she's looking through the owner's manual. Maybe she's checking her AI here on what to do with that engine. So it looks like she's taking action herself. Maybe she is waiting for some help, but I kind of feel like there's something that maybe you always relied on, that it could even be a little codependent situation for somebody to save you, and you're saving yourself. If something malfunctions, I am getting it's an easier fix than you thought, unless it's a big malfunction. Then maybe it's more of a dour energy and it's helping you rid of something no longer functioning so you can get something that works more smooth. Do I have my glasses? I do. And let's take these off. Ooh, it always makes a funny sound when I put it close to that thing. Okay, so malfunction. Hesitant to address the underlying issues. Okay, so somebody's not wanting to address the elephant in the room, the core of a situation, the heart of the matter, and maybe that manual or, those instructions, the way to fix something is right there, even if it's via conversation, but somebody doesn't want to open up that conversation, open up the manual. The cracks begin to widen. If those cracks widen too much, somebody might end up falling through. Fear leads to neglect, and neglect breeds chaos. Worry clouds your ability to act. Now, there's an opposite message here. So it says, our relationship, much like a machine, isn't that, that's like a Bush song, has developed cracks that need attention. Ignoring these issues will not make them disappear. Pretending the elephant is not in the room does not mean that elephant doesn't need some peanuts, Instead, it pushes us farther apart. We've been stuck in a cycle of avoidance and resisting. Something needs to change between you and someone else. Whether this is, your honey, a family member, your bestie, whoever it is. It's like you're always walking on eggshells instead of just addressing something. Maybe addressing something does make something separate, make you separate from a person. Maybe addressing something is the glue you needed, the Gorilla Glue to put something back together. Maybe addressing it is a little scary, but it's less scary to know the truth. Sometimes it's also because people are afraid of the answer, especially if they really know what's going on, and they'd rather resist that and or latch on to what is not working anymore than go through the uncomfortable, birthing process, growing pains of something changing. But nothing changing here, staying on the damn carousel, being in that car going in circles on the racetrack is not expanding your territory. It's not actually getting you anywhere. I kind of feel like somebody doesn't even enjoy being the co-pilot or in the driver's seat with whatever this is. So something needs to be addressed. Let's actually go right to, do I have the weird world? Do I have the weird world? No, but I do have the winter pastures. So let's get a little clarity on this. Why is there a malfunction? I just want to do that in like computer voice. So maybe because I keep seeing the computer, something needs a reboot, an update. The old system isn't working. So it does say over here, it does say to grow your garden. So, why do I think of Mary, Mary, quite contrary? How does your garden grow? That's the only bit of that nursery rhyme I can get. I kind of feel like also this might be for a lot of you, not your situation. Maybe you have somebody in your life that this sort of relates to, but I feel like maybe, because I see the racetrack and I see one person in the stands. You watching somebody go around and around and around, but maybe you're not necessarily in that car, on that chariot. Maybe you're just an outside observer, waiting for somebody to grow, open the gate. I don't know why I say do something different at the cockpit. That was weird. And if somebody has somebody weird in that, whether it's the back seat and it's driving Miss Daisy here or co-piloting, I feel like somebody is looking over and so much would rather be on. I just heard Joyride with you. That's I think a Roxette song. I can't think of how it goes. It's got such weird music. What was it? Roxette and Bush. So winter pastures. Tell us more about this malfunction and what would be helpful to know? What would be helpful to know about what's not working anymore, could be running a lot better? Oh yeah, something's not working. Whether this is your situation or what you are observing. If you're observing, I don't think it's worth getting in this battle. Five of Swords is definitely somebody who is not addressing something or overly addressing something sometimes. Hold on, because it's a sour loser. It's somebody that's in it to win. They don't give a shit who they hurt in the process, as long as they have the trophy or the swords, at the end. This is somebody who always has to have the last word. They're always right. It's not a back and forth conversation because it's like talking to a damn wall. They're not going to hear you anyway. They just want their opinion, to be the biggest and the loudest. It could also be because it's swords, not my favorite card here. It could be somebody who, that would definitely be the garbage to take out. Use that shit as compost. If somebody is around somebody like this, I'm pretty sure they're always imagining not being there. Because this is somebody who's a mental manipulator. Sometimes people don't even realize that they are being manipulated because it can be done in very subtle forms. It's not always a big, harsh fight. Sometimes it's just making somebody really confused on purpose. But it's usually where somebody has really selfish intentions behind that, unless this is the Mr. or Mr. Miyagi energy, which is amazing. In that case, that's mental stimulation. That's somebody who's going to ask you big questions because they know you can do better than that. Because they know that you can come up with, a solution. It's somebody who always sees a win-win rather than I am the winner and you're the loser. And quite frankly, with the Five of Swords, whoever wants to be the winner usually ends up alone, even if they're in a partnership or in a friend group. They always do feel alone because they probably attract other people who are just as sour in their energy and manipulating and there for the wrong reasons. And it's like the frenemy, or somebody that's constantly smiling in their face, but also talking behind their back or has their own agenda. So it's unhealthy unless it's the reverse, unless it's upside down, then that's actually healthy stimulation. Now look, there is one person who is holding two swords. So maybe that person only has one sword. And maybe they're actually more skilled with that one sword and they don't need to have the two. Let's see. Clarify the Five of Swords. Why is that here? This is just going to be a brief check-in today. I got to go right now. So let's just take what's at the bottom. What's at the bottom to clarify the Five Swords, please? And thank you. Guess what? It's time for an ending. Take a bow. Maybe that was a weird chapter, a weird story. Maybe somebody is ready to expand their world, step into that new energy. I always see that as like, the curtain coming down. But what's going on behind the curtain? What's going on in the after party after that, that show is done? Why did I just think of Queen? I cannot get the song, but I totally just thought of, why can't I think of that movie? The one with Nicole Kidman, Moulin Rouge. So 21 is the world. It brings you to a 3. It's time to get creative. It's time to think outside the box. It's time to head into something that will be a lot smoother. Even if there are a couple malfunctions in the new world, did you learn from this? And did you, I don't know, go back to the drawing board or gain that, because it's going back to that childlike leap of faith after this. You're beyond judgment. You know what you should keep, and you know what you should leave. And it's not being so hard on yourself if something is transitioning here, because the unknown is, I hear it's bringing big blessings. I hear fruitful, and I'm going back to that garden. Maybe before something wasn't so fruitful. Maybe you didn't have the bees to pollinate that situation. I feel like wherever you're going, there's something about the bee and the pollination, and the flower doesn't need to do anything for the bee to come. It's a natural attraction. I hope that made sense. I feel like that was important for somebody to hear. And I also feel like we should end with some kind of message, because I gotta run. Do I have anything with a message? Hold on. Let me see. Sorry if you're looking at my butt right now. Oh my gosh. I have to have something with a message here. Hold on. I don't want to turn this off. I'm just going to look. Sign of times. Wisdom of things. Do I have anything with a message? I hope you're still with me. I promise we'll get something good. Yes, I do. I'm going to give you this because it's gorgeous and we got a garden. So I'm going to get this beautiful oracle of the roses, but I do have to read from the book because I do not know that much about roses. So final message to be helpful right now. Oh, the gambler. It's really pretty. That yellow rose, maybe it does have to do with friendship. Let me put on my readers. Let's find this message. It's number 30, Fortunes. Oh, that's very nice. Fortunes yellow rose. So let's see what this is. The gambler. What's that, like Kenny Rogers maybe? Taking a risk could be needed. Well, you do have to take a risk. Risk opening up that conversation, getting out of the loop-de-loop racetrack, address the elephant in the room, be open to new territory that might be Might be a little uncomfortable at first. Taking a risk could be needed, but ensure you are willing to live with an eventual outcome as, well, you do have the world, as this is a time of unsettled energies. I mean, yeah, something steaming over here. You could win it all or lose it, and you could play it safe, but whatever you decide to do, just watch out for the unexpected as well. Listen to the inner voice. Yeah, always. And any tingly, that's a good word, tingly sensations of cautions that are sent your way. The gambler does not leave things to fate, but rather works with deliberation to ensure that the odds are stacked. My odds are stacked. You went back to what you knew, so far removed from all that we went through, and I tread a troubled track. My odds are stacked, and I go back to black. We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back to her, and I go back too. Occasional risk takers, they are better at playing the long game. When you feel unfulfilled, what do you think is missing in your life? So meanings are strategy, risk, stamina, optimism, intuition. Deities, Teiki and Fortuna, and the astrological sign is Gemini. With this, I bid you adieu. I gotta run. I gotta skedaddle. I love you. I hope this was helpful. I look forward to seeing you very soon. And thank you for being here.